Hello YouTube, this is Justin Game 44 here, and today we are here to talk about Season 2 of Dragon 9 Realms. Now, just like what I did with my last review of Season 1, this is basically me just going over Season 2. I kind of did this in my last review of the end of Season 2, but here, there were just some ideas and everything I thought they could have done to actually make the season better. Now, I'm really not gonna lie, Season 2, personally, in my own opinion, despite there were some good ideas and good episodes, it honestly was like the last season I would pick to watch out of the four, simply because season two, in a way, really was not my goatee. Okay, I'm really not gonna lie. I really was just not a fan of season two compared to the other three, that the one before and the next two that come after. Simply because season two was just really more of that type of season where you, where it just had a mix of things not going right or things just not going well. So really, let's talk about it. Really, in season two, they bring up the concept of, well, saddles. They skip a lot of things that are also interesting. Like season two is basically to show how the dragon team will be a dragon team, a dragon club. How will they work? Who will be the leader? Who is this? Who is that? How will they grow strong together? A lot of that stuff was honestly skipped because we got a lot of the problem as quickly. Like with the saddle thing, they could have made an episode where the saddles had come into the show. Like perhaps maybe they could have made a joke where at the end one of the characters actually almost fell off and hurt themselves. So it was made, and they knew this was going to be a problem again, so they decided to get saddles. They have to go around the fisher and get supplies, and they could have shown how they build them. So yeah, that's one thing. Also the other. Besides the saddles, like really, that could have been more adventuring, being not in the hidden world but staying in the fissure. Like why they want to do it and everything. Also getting a chance to really know around the place. That would also have been interesting. And also, season two, besides the their saddle thing, it's really with Buzzsaw also I have a problem with. He was only in one episode, and I'm really not going to deny it, but really, he was kind of boring just being only in one episode. Like, yeah, he sees a dragon. Oh, he probably burned down, despite we know it was Buzzsaw's own fault. Now, I'm really not going to deny. Now, some people may say this is kind of like a ripoff from an old episode in season one. Does anyone remember that season one episode from Riders of Berk that came out over a decade ago, where basically Hiccup and the others have to hide their dragons from Dagger, from the Berserker tribe leader? And yeah, they're having problems with that. Now, in all honesty, yeah, it's true. It is kind of like a problem they have with plot recycling, but plot recycling is something that can be kind of useful. Like, to give you an idea, the Log Cabin Company could have been more like, what if the kids were going on a field trip to go see this place, to see like how this company works? But maybe one of the dragons come by accident, like they followed them, and now Tom and the others are trying to make sure this dragon does not cause any disturbance. And in all honestly, this dragon could have even been the cause of the whole entire burning the cabin, because some people do believe, yeah, probably would be the best. Probably would have been a better idea to make Dagger more of a villain if it wasn't actually his own fault and he's blaming someone else. Or still have it, but maybe Tom and the others may think, but they don't really know for a fact what caused the fire, if it was the dragons doing or not. And really, there's a lot of jokes and ideas they could do with this idea, reusing the plot, but really changing things up, like getting a chance to know Dagger. And Eugene could have actually talked to Buzzsaw here, like they could have like have a more stronger bond. Okay, what I mean by that is instead what happens in season three where they start meeting up and talk, it could have started here and they could have been like somewhat but not that close yet. If you get what I mean, like basically Eugene is annoyed at the other kids, but he's actually getting to talk with Buzzsaw. And maybe, hey, May is actually the reason why, because maybe she's trying to get her son a job. We don't know how old he is. He's probably 17 or 18. I really don't know how old Eugene is, although I'm calling him Gene, just to make that clear. Really, Gene here is honestly, that could have been another point of an episode where he could have been not until the very last episode of season 2 and the very first episode of season 2. Yeah, anyway, not only that, but when it came with the secret, I would have preferred really the secret, instead of being that Viking helmet, I don't really think it should have never even existed. I think it should have done something with the Fault Ripper where Tom Collison is panicking and really keeping a secret, and what if he doesn't never want to do that, something like that again? And he actually, some reason, this caused a scenario where he has to do the same thing again, but he doesn't, and then he reveals why, and because he chooses not to, his friends actually got hurt in the process. Which they would be mad because they're not mad for him revealing the secret. They're mad that you actually were too about what happened, that they almost got killed, and Tom pretty much that. But they all have to learn to work together to find this, and Tom has to overcome his fear and actually do what he needs to do for the team. That could have actually been an interesting plot. Like, let's just say the Skrill was actually coming after Thunder and everyone else, and Tom could have easily did that, but because he chose, the Skrill could have actually lightning blast one of the others and actually injure them. And Tom is regretting, and then he admits the truth, what happened now in the fish, or why he wasn't. I mean, seriously, that could have been an idea. But later on, we'll soon find out that they all know in season 3, which is a disappointment, but I'm not really going to go over with that. Saying, oh, wait, everyone knew the whole entire time. Now, really, besides that whole entire season 2 thing, would there be anything I would change from this? Well, the Bubble Horn episode, well, when we discover that whole entire episode, I do think there could have been a little bit of improvement. Really, the one thing I would have changed is really, if Gene, that's what I prefer saying, if Gene was going to be introduced right away, I would have wished they just had him in the beginning of the first season, where, yeah, he is an adult, but he has his own thing, but he's kind of bored. You could have even had him where he was like, hey, what are you doing? Type thing. Because he really is so bored with nothing else to do there. Maybe he's trying to get a job at one of the places that his mother's trying to help him with, or something like that. So that's why we don't see him as much. Honestly, they could have squeezed him in a way where it could have had worked. And we get to know his bit of personality, and within season 2, he has a little bit of free time since it's late at night, and now he's seeing what's going on. At least not really. It could have just really gone the same way. And with the whole entire log cabin company, he could have just joined in for the fun. Like maybe he's in charge of the whole entire thing. If you get the idea. Or he's just there because May say so, because Gene, keep an eye on your sister for me. Don't let her get in trouble. Type thing. Because we know how come the mother really favors her son more than her daughter, as we have seen. Now, besides all that, I mean, really, when it comes with D'Angelo, I will admit, I think he could have used a little bit more improvement. Like, this season was more focused on both D'Angelo and kind of Alex. Because really, when you think about it, was focused on the episodes with Alex, with her bravery, how she needs to stand up and actually help. And D'Angelo kind of being a leader in a way, with the episode with him with the magma breather, and the episode with the Tangle Web. Yeah, I honestly think they could have done the Tangle Web thing at a later point and slowly build the conflicts up. If we see more what was going on in the Fisher, like if there were more episodes, honestly, for this season, because that's what I was hoping for, but we really didn't got that. Like, what if this season was supposed to show how it's slowly there, how come they're slowly from episode to episode, even if it's one scene per each episode, just showing get a little detail, and then it's really getting to them. The presser with D'Angelo and Tom is getting more mad because, like, what if D'Angelo is trying to force being the leader and it's causing problems? Tom actually does have some good ideas, but D'Angelo says otherwise. At first, it's not really a problem, but then it slowly does. And then when Tangle the Web finally comes, it really shows how unstable and perhaps June and Alex don't really trust them that much for that whole entire argument. But of course, they work together, but there would be a problem with who would be the team leader. That could have been an interesting idea. Perhaps one of them would have taken charge instead of those two for a bit. And they could have explained why. Like, basically, you two were more focused with your own problems instead of worrying about the team. Type thing. Now, in all honesty, after all of that, with Alex, honestly, she was the best out of this season, I will admit. I do think the only change I would have given her, really, was with the episode Dragons of the Undead, where at the very end, we would have just get a chance to see her what she does at the whole entire, her being on stage, giving a speech, and we would have seen what she had choose to do. And heck, you could have had like Feathers being in the background where she's secretly invisible, just like to cheer her, just because she wants to be a support for a friend, but no one's able to see her. And the other Dragon Riders are all there cheering Alex on and being supported. And with that, she does her showing what she has done, and everyone is proud of her. The end. That's the way how I think that episode should have been. Now, in all honesty, when it comes with anything else, yeah, there could have been a few here detailed notices, changes, but really, other than that, that's pretty much it for this season. I honestly wish that they were having more episodes. Like, I honestly thought the reason why there was only 6 was because they were a bit in a rush and all this, and because it was just like a quick rush thing they had to do. I have noticed there has been that type of thing that's been going on, but still, it has been almost a year. We have 4 seasons, and yet this is what we got. 4 seasons, and every episode is like 6 to 7 episodes, and each season has a 2 BTU, so it's technically 5 to 6 episodes when you think about it. But really, other than that, that's honestly my honest opinion with season 2. I really think it was my least favorite season because season 1 was just the beginning, just getting everything set up. Season 2 had proven how it could go ahead, but they rushed through a lot of things. Now with season 3 and 4, once we get to those, I'll explain more detail why I find those seasons better than season 2. But yeah, I will start explaining all that soon. But until then, this is Justin Game 44 signing out. Until then, I shall see you all later. Bye.